So there are many of those within Hollywood, within the film industry right now, or just show business in general, that are trying to desperately save their careers, or if they're already ended to begin with, they are trying to revive it as we speak, and one of which has a lot to do with Jada Pinkett Smith, one of the most insufferable actresses, if you even want to call her an actress, in the film industry, in Hollywood, based on all the things that she said throughout 2023, and even 2022, by the way, in, of course, the aftermath of the whole Will Smith slap situation. There's been a lot of things going on with her and her husband, Will Smith, and her book that she created, and more books to come. It's just flat out ridiculous. However, focusing on Jada Pinkett Smith, there's a lot of things going on when it comes down to her overall view of the country, and how, of course, everything has been going since November the 5th. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new, and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So one thing about Jada Pinkett Smith is that we know that she tends to be very much one individual that has no boundaries. She says the most ridiculous things out there, very much like Whoopi Goldberg does, very much like Sunny Hostin does. I mean, they're all very similar at the end of the day. They all parrot each other. But focusing on Jada Pinkett Smith here, we know one thing specifically is that she has been going off the rails in recent weeks. We know that she's also been struggling to obtain any kind of different roles out there, whether it's narrating gigs through Disney for National Geographic, or whether it's acting roles on screen, or obtaining voiceover roles for animated films. She's not getting anything anymore, and let's get into this. Now, with both Hollywood and the media now playing the blame game with many individuals that they once viewed as their peers, one major development going on now involves more to do with Jada Pinkett, who is striking back against the backlash toward her, and how she views the current status of the country since November the 5th. Jada delivered the following: "I have witnessed this cultural shift. There is no denying that, but I think it's a very terrible thing. It's bringing us in the wrong direction that leaves me very frightened for what we are about to face for the next 4 years, and just how easily society is now accepting individuals that support sexism and misogyny. I am proud to say that I'm a strong and powerful woman married to an amazing man," of course she's talking about Will Smith, "who also brings value to my life, but we need to stop promoting men that have horrible tastes in this country, and the fact that they are looking up to somebody that they like to call a leader, who has no clue what he's talking about or how to run a country, is also very worrying to me as a mother and as a woman. We need to stop creating this stigma for what it means to be an actor or an actress or anybody who is very involved in Hollywood. That does not instantly translate to someone that is engaged in activism, not saying that's a bad thing, by the way. I am glad to be an activist, and I am proud to say that with no regrets. No matter how people think or feel about that, I will own it. But this trend that everyone in this business is an activist is not only unhinged behavior coming from the public, it's also a narrative that they are trying to create to make us look like the bad guys, when yet we are here speaking the truth to the people and telling it like it is. Especially someone like myself, who always loves to speak the truth to the people and to my fans. We need more trustworthy examples of both men and women that represent this country, because I just think that we look like fools to the rest of the world, especially how we are throwing away diversity and equality in this business. You see, that is something I find to be very disheartening, and I stand with many public figures that have called out this nonsense. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is, by definition, equality, and if you are against that, then you are against common sense. So guys, let me just pause here quick before I move on about what Jada Pinkett Smith is just throwing out there yet again to the public, and how she's really just trying to act like a lunatic, I think, at this point, on purpose. Now, look, we know that Jada is not making any sense at all. The fact that she is saying, oh, DEI is about equality, and how equality is about common sense. Look, that is not common sense at all. In fact, it's quite the reverse. I mean, it is insane, alright, by definition. When you look at everything related to Jada Pinkett Smith and how she calls it, by definition, equality, it's not. It most certainly is not. It, if anything, creates more of a divide, whether it's in the film industry, whether it's in the music industry, or whether it's in video games, or whatever DEI gets shoehorned into, it doesn't work at all. In fact, it just destroys the product, the brand, or whatever it is. It actually loses customers, and that's what we have seen for the past, 6, 8, even 9 years at this point. But focusing more on Jada here, she really is seemingly not taking it very well since November the 5th, much like many other actresses and actors out there. Now, she likes to say, oh, just because you're an actor or an actress, you're not an activist. Well, look, I get it, that's true to an extent, but let's just say it like it is right now. 99.5% of those in the film industry really do engage in activism on some level, some way, shape, or form, whether it's through social media, whether it's through interviews, whether it's through informing their platform of loyal followers. Whether it's any case, there's a lot of examples out there of these actors and actresses that do engage in activism, whether it's more in your face or whether it's more vague. You will find that most of them do get engaged in that. Not all. I want to be very clear, not all of them. There are those that really are against it. I think that when you look at someone like, for example, Rob Schneider, who's 100% against that. James Woods is 100% against that. We have a lot of different examples. Zachary Levi, Henry Cavill. The list goes on, and you will find more and more that those are the types of actors that are either getting kicked out of roles or are losing work in a very wrong way, by the way, because I support actors like those. But what's interesting here is that she goes on to conclude, alright, common sense is a very important thing in this industry to create a successful product, whether it's film, television, or whatever. We need to find a better avenue to actually take on how we establish that into our products and hire only those that support the importance of DEI. I think people like Elon Musk, who get so thrilled about destroying this, is clownish behavior of him, and it's just very foolish for someone to even celebrate something like that now that we are seeing all these industries doing away with it. It makes me feel so sad as a woman and someone of color to just watch this fade away so fast into the night. So she's very much like Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar. They despise Elon Musk because he's the one that, by the way, really called out DEI and really got that known to the majority of the people. I remember just 6 months ago when I was talking about DEI, a lot of you were like, what in the world is DEI? What does that even stand for? Please tell me, Mike. And I had to always say this, I had to always repeat this like 3 times in every post. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, alright? 3 times over. And almost everybody, thankfully, now knows what DEI stands for, right? It's basically, of course, all the wrong in the film industry that has destroyed things like Star Wars, Marvel, many different brands out there. The video game industry also got destroyed by it through multiple brands. I mean, I could go on and on. But yeah, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about Jada Pinkett Smith and her overall view of the country. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.